All right, getting ready for Auburn. Obviously wanted a midweek game. Didn't work out. We've got a great team in Auburn coming in here. Sharif Cooper, number one assist point guard in the entire country, number one assist rate in the entire country. Tremendous player. They've got great shooters around him. Cambridge is somebody who really hurt us last year. Flanagan's been playing great for him. Williams at the four is a big-time shooter. J.T. Thor coming off his best game, hitting 5 or 6 threes at Kentucky. To bring Johnson, a great shooter off the bench, transfer from Memphis. Then they've got Cardwell coming off who starts for him some, comes off the bench. Tremendous shot blocker. They do a great job blocking shots. They're going to pose a lot of problems for us. Their transition offense is tremendous. The transition offense after an opponent's made basket is top 5 in the country. Not something that you see very often, so we've got to get back. We can't do all our celebrating and all the BS that we tend to do sometimes. We got to get back in transition. And then we've got to be able to block them out. They're a tremendous offensive rebounding team, one of the top offensive rebounding rates in the country. Cardwell is certainly a part of that. The big kid, 13, Akimbala, does a great job on the offensive glass and blocking shots as well. So Moore as well has made some threes in league play. I think he's 5 of 8 in league play from 3, and so he's another shooter, 6'6" guy that they're able to bring off the bench. So very good team. Be a big challenge for us, and hopefully we've made some improvements from last Saturday to this Saturday.
Hey, Will, just kind of looking at the numbers, this seems to be an Auburn team that's a lot better than their record shows. I mean, they seem to be playing their best basketball really the last couple of weeks as well.
Adding Sharif Cooper helps you play real good basketball.
Yeah, I mean, and just talk about Cooper a little bit, and then also just kind of what is it about Bruce Pearl's team?
Their numbers show that their record should be better than what it is. They're a little bit young and they've had some issues down the stretch in some games, but their numbers would indicate they're a lot better than their record shows. But Coach Pearl's one of, if not the best coaches in this league. His teams always play fast. His teams always are aggressive on the offensive end, aggressive in transition and getting to the offensive glass, which this team is no different. Defensively, it'll be mostly man. He's played more of his zone. He played the zone against us some last year. I expect we'll see some pressing from him, especially on free throws and some dead ball situations. So we're going to keep preparing for that. We spent, no less than 10 or 15 minutes a day, for 4 days this week trying to get ready for pressure and that sort of thing. But he throws a lot of different things at you. He tries to, their baseline out-of-bounds defense is once again tremendous. Their baseline out-of-bounds offense is really good. So they throw a lot of stuff at you and try to see where you're weak and where you're not prepared, and they exploit that for 6-8 points a game, and that's how they're able to win a lot of games. So tremendous coach, as good as there is in our league.
Hey, Will, you mentioned about probably 2 weeks ago that Andre Hyatt was buried a little bit. You used that word, buried. What got him in that spot? And I know that he had a lot of depth at that time, but what did he do to get himself out of that spot? And he's going to continue to start, I imagine.
Yeah, he'll start tomorrow. I mean, he just took advantage of the opportunity. I felt like, Mwani gave us the best chance to win for a while, and then kind of teams have started to figure us out with him, and we've had to game plan around some things like that. I think Mwani's getting ready to come back on as well. He's been more aggressive in practice. He's been shooting it well. Mwani's he can score it now, and he's been shooting it better in practice, been shooting it well. So I think he's fixing to come back around as well. But just that's the ebbs and flow of the season. I was proud of Hyatt for hanging in there and sticking it out. And it came back around to it. But Andre's a good player. We've always said that. There's a reason he earned the starting role at the beginning of the year. It's not like we're just handing it out. Like, he had earned it and done what he needed to do to get it. And now he's certainly been playing well for us. He's added some physicality to us on the glass. He's just added another big body.
Thanks.
Hey, Will. It's Cobble. I was just wondering.
I can tell by the screen, Cobble.
Oh, okay, good.
It says your name on there. I don't know if you know that.
I like to, just announce
You at the
myself.
barber shop today? You eating lunch? I mean, what are we doing today?
Actually, I'm going to the barber shop later today.
There you go.
I was just got out of the shower, so I'm saving all of your eyeballs. The idea that obviously winning helps the message get through. Where are your guys' heads at right now? as far as kind of understanding the message that you got to them a couple of weeks ago and how it's successful. And then secondly, you mentioned the BS. The book is out on you guys, whether you want to admit it or not. They're looking at you guys for a little, it appears, any little thing. Has that message also been relayed?
Well, I've tried to relay it as best I can through talking and running and other various activities. So hopefully we didn't have any incidents last game. So hopefully that'll continue. But no, there's always a challenge. We had to get ourselves out of the rut. Now we're out of the rut, but we're not home free. We've got a lot of undercurrent going into this game in terms of. We're coming off 2 wins in a row. We're playing a very, very dangerous team, a team that's a very tough matchup for us. And so, we've got to continue to move forward. We can't rest with where we are. We've got 4 big games scheduled that are left. Hopefully we'll get another game or 2 scheduled after that. But we've got 4 big games left, and you start messing around, you give back some of the stuff that you've done. And so this is a big quad 2 game, and we've got to continue to move forward and continue to build on the progress that we've made. If you take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back, that doesn't do you a whole lot. So you've got to keep moving forward and keep building on the progress that we've made.
Yeah, well, how difficult is it during the week? You kind of gear up for a game, you gear up, you prepare, your team is prepared, and then all of a sudden it's gone. I mean, this just kind of happened all year, but is this team kind of used to it by now, or are you used to it?
Yeah, we're all used to it. Shoot, I called them in on Wednesday morning, and they all knew what was going on. The Ole Miss game was canceled. So, we're all used to it. Shoot, you watch a lot of film, and luckily one of the Ole Miss games we'd watched was Ole Miss Auburn. We'd spent a lot of time studying that, so we had a little bit of idea on Auburn, but that's part of it. We said we want to play as many games as we can. If they're canceled, and you just move forward and move on to the next thing. So we don't spend too much time worrying about stuff we can't control. We don't spend too much time worrying about things like that. We try to focus in on things that that we can control and things that we can affect, and that's just the way it is. I think our guys have been good with that. Our staff's been really good with that all season.
Sharif's status at this point?
He won't play tomorrow.
Okay. Is it still the ankle, still the foot stuff?
It's a foot stuff. Yeah, he went to see the foot specialist. He's doing some exercises. We're kind of still in limbo on everything, but he certainly won't play for the foreseeable future. Tomorrow, and then certainly not Tuesday or Wednesday, or it'll be a while if he's back this year.
Anything else, Glenn?
Hey, Will, I know you mentioned it, a couple minutes ago that you guys only have 4 scheduled games. Have you guys been in contact with the league office about getting a couple extra games scheduled, and just kind of what's that look like? Is it kind of bleak as in terms of
the league understands that we want some more games, but they're working through all that. They'll contact us. Dan and those guys will contact us when it's time for when it's time for them to reschedule or reset the schedule. But they're certainly aware. They got a lot of issues. They got a lot of teams that need games, that want games, that need to play games, and so they'll contact us. But they're aware of where we are on things. We were certainly in contact with them a lot this week based on the non-conference opportunity earlier in the week. The Ole Miss, they're probably sick of talking to us at this point. But they know, and they'll get it figured out.
Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, well, at this point of the year, every year, do you feel like, is there a certain point you feel like your team should be at, as far as developing, or, do you look at the record or the development? Does it vary from team to team?
Yeah, every team's different. Some teams take a lot longer to come together than others, and so it's the beauty of our sport. It's not like if you lose one game, your whole season's over, like it's become in football. And so, you try to be at a certain point. You're never as far along as you want to be. I think we were certainly a little bit further behind a couple of weeks ago, but we're starting to make up some ground. But we have a lot of ground to make up, and so we've got to continue to work hard and work on those areas and work on those issues and push forward. But we're getting closer to where I think we can be. I think we've settled into a nice little 8-man rotation here, So I think we're getting closer to where we want to be, but we're certainly not there yet.
I mean, everybody has kind of had roles all year, but is it more clearly defined than ever now? I mean, everybody exactly knows. I mean, the guys off the bench know.
Yes, I was
they're
very
brains.
clear a couple of weeks ago about what everybody's going to do. I couldn't have been more clear. I was very, very clear. Crystal clear. Crystal clear. So
Gotcha.
everybody is well aware of what the expectations are and what happens if the expectations are not met.
Well, I mean, if they're not met, what can you do? You have nobody in the bench you can put in. I mean, how does
You
that
can sub
work?
them in and out. We've subbed in. We've had more subs the last 2 games than we've had in most of the games all year. So you can sub them in and out for a little bit,
To make a point.
more or less.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
Okay.
Anybody
Thank you.
else? All right. See you all tomorrow.